What's up, everyone? It's your boy Tony Massey, and welcome to Tony Massey Cooks. So obviously, I'm not in the kitchen, so I'm not going to be cooking today. But I did want to bring something to you that I think is pretty important. It's the if you follow me, you know how I feel about the manosphere and the red pills and the alpha males and the Kevin Samuels and all that stuff. I think it's just recanned misogyny and sexism. But one of the things that came up recently that kind of got my attention was this idea that it is not the responsibility of Black men to protect Black women. Some of the men who follow this mindset will even go so far as to say, unless a Black woman is in my circle, my mother, my sister, my girlfriend, my friend, whatever, it is not my job. It is not my responsibility to protect Black women universally. Now, I have a huge issue with that because I do believe that it is our responsibility as men to protect our women. I think every single man should have something kind to say about Black women, and definitely should not be berating Black women in public, and definitely not allow anyone else to do it as well. Unfortunately, we've entered into this really strange space, and I don't think this is new. Matter of fact, I made a video before called Nothing New Under the Sun. It's the same again, recycled, recanned sexism, misogyny, and it should be expected when you live in a patriarchy, right? But it just feels different, maybe because now we have access to the internet and social media, and there's a camera everywhere, so you're seeing it so much more. Not only that, we have men who are capitalizing on it. They're making money on it. They're building platforms on that type of disrespect towards Black women. I mean, literally, men who are creating videos that are getting millions of views and that are getting shared relentlessly. And all they're doing is inviting women, Black women, onto their platform and then just berating them and disrespecting them and weaponizing their past and all this other stuff. And it's all to the enjoyment and entertainment of men. And my issue, of course, with that is, nothing productive comes of this except this idea, this gotcha moment that so many men, for whatever reason, enjoy seeing. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that most of these men, and I feel confident saying that, they have their own inner issues with women, whether it be mommy issues or just the fact that women don't value them or whatever the case would be. So they enjoy seeing a guy just, say the things that they can't say. And I was just recently in a conversation over the internet with a guy who said that Kevin Samuels in particular gives a voice to men who have been silenced. Who are you talking about? Again, we live in a patriarchal society. Men are not being silenced. Men have voices, very loud voices. And for centuries, men have been using that voice to subjugate women. And so now we're seeing this resurgence of women, especially Black women, who are just kind of, putting all that stuff aside and just, they brought in this era of Black girl magic. And I think it's just upsetting a lot of men. So that's where these platforms are popping up. And it wouldn't bother me so much. But, I have a son, I have a young son. And although he's happily married, I look at him and other young men like him who are listening to this rhetoric and they're formulating opinions about themselves based on what they're hearing. And that's the part that makes me feel very uncomfortable. So that's why I go so hard in the paint about the manosphere. But going back to protecting Black women, I do want to bring it to your attention, something that I saw recently on the internet. There's a brother out there named Nicholas Wilkerson. Nicholas Wilkerson was sitting at a bar. I'm not sure what restaurant he was sitting at, but about to order his food. And this lady, a white lady, older white lady, she for whatever reason decided that she was going to share her opinion about Black women with Nicholas. More specifically, she was going to charge Nicholas as a Black man and explain his responsibility in reining in Black women. And it's such an interesting exchange. I'm going to show it to you real quick. I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to show it to you from his page. So please Give the brother some love. Nicholas Wilkerson, go follow him. He's found himself in a very precarious situation, but I applaud what he did. And you'll see why here in a second. So let me get to the video. This is Nicholas Wilkerson. Again, sitting at a bar, and this lady decides to share her thoughts about Black women. And it's about 3.5 minutes long. It's not long. And the way this brother handled it, I was very impressed. So let's check this out, and then we'll talk about it here in a second.
Black male needs to get up and decide to put these black chicks in their place.
Damn, that's huge.
I get it.
You said that Black women are messing with your mom? You said your mom's in the
country.
hospital? Oh, they're messing with the country.
That's so.
Okay, all right.
So the black male needs to say, you know.
Well, let me hold that thought. Let me order this food real quick.
Oh.
Can I get a crab and shrimp Louis with extra crab on it, extra shrimp, and add some salmon to it?
Salmon?
Yeah, salmon.
It's smoked salmon, is that okay?
That's okay. And I'll take another one of these Cadillacs. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You want an order of that?
Yes, please. Now, what was you saying again?
The black male needs to wrestle the black female and tell her and put her in her place. Because if you don't, she's just gonna just, you know.
Right.
She's just gonna, I don't know, she's just gonna, you know, mess it all up.
Why is the black woman gonna mess it up?
Or, well, color of her skin, you know, people like porcelain skin, the blue eyes, the yellow hair, you know, all of it. You want to go there?
I'm asking you.
I'm telling you.
First of all, our black women are strong.
I know that.
We got strong black women in this world. Yes, indeed. And the black women in this country, in this world, is not the problem.
Yes, they are.
Because when you talk about it, you talk about my black mother.
No.
You talk about my black sister. You talking about my girlfriend. You talking about everybody. Now I don't know what's going on with your mom.
Yes. No, sir.
I don't know what's going on with your mom, but my condolences to whatever's going on with your mom. But no, I don't think it's every black woman's fault what's going on with your mom. Yeah, I'm listening.
That bitch is 97 years old and she don't know how to quit.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
We got black chicks that are like that, okay? They need to be reined in. I'm serious.
These ladies over here would love for you to join them.
Okay, right on.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, you have a nice day, okay?
Hi.
I love your
I love everything about that video. I love that this, first of all, I could just imagine that before this video started, she started her little rhetoric, and I'm sure that this brother was like, hold on, just wait 1 second. I got to record this. Don't say anything else. Let me get my phone and record this, because the idea that this woman thought that criticizing, this was a safe space to criticize black women in front of a black man, and then suggest that it is his responsibility to rein black women in. It's just beyond my comprehension, because you would think that she would think, okay, he's not going to be cool with my racism. You know, with he's not going to be cool with it all. How could he be? He's a black man. But that's the problem with all of this stuff that is just permeating social media right now. These men, these red pill, alpha male, manosphere guys are, especially the black ones, the black men who are a part of these movements, they are making it cool. They're making it socially acceptable to berate black women because they're doing it. And so the mindset is there's no consequence for it. I mean, look what is happening with Simone Biles. I mean, you have conservative white men creating videos about this young lady saying that she's un-American and all this other stuff, or Sha'Carri Richardson, or the list goes on and on. When a black woman gets put into the fire, there's no fear. There's no fear of consequence because we're doing it. They see us doing it on a large scale. Again, men are building platforms, getting millions of views, and the whole platform is surrounded by women calling in and subjecting themselves to vitriol and disrespect. And men are watching these videos, cheering it on, sharing it, saying, yeah, he's speaking the truth. No, he's not at all. And none of it is helpful. None of it has done anything to help our communities, to help the relationships between black men and black women. None of it. All it does is it's divisive, number one. And number two, it creates this idea in the minds of men, especially young men. And I don't think a lot of people are catching what I'm about to tell you. It's one thing to, be disrespectful to black women, which, that's what they're doing. But who I really feel for, besides the women who are being thrown into this tub of vitriol, is the young black men who are listening to this stuff and formulating opinions about women, even though they're not actually, these are the young men who are entering into the dating arena, right? These aren't the guys my age who, have been married and are married or who have been, dating for years. I worry about the young men who are in college, the young men who are in high school, these young men who are entering into the dating phase. They're listening to this rhetoric and they're formulating opinions about women before they actually meet women. And so they walk into these dating relationships thinking that this is the behavior I should expect from black women. And none of it's true. That's the thing. You can always find outliers in any, you put 10 people together, one person is going to be extreme in some way. That's just the way it is. But when you take that extreme and you paint these broad strokes across a whole group of people, I mean, that is literally how, that's what feeds racism. These people who, never don't have any black people in their circles, no people of color in their circles at all, but they have these very strong, concrete opinions about people that they're not dealing with. They don't meet, they don't know, or they know in the peripheral sense, right? And so imagine I'm 22 years old, I'm, in college, or, I'm in the workforce, and I'm listening to this red pill crap, this misogyny, this sexism, and I'm listening to it over and over again. And now I'm formulating opinions about women, and now I have to go out and date. And so, of course, if I meet any woman, I can meet 10 women who are all just like cool and, they whatever. I meet one woman who fits the narrative that these guys are shoving down these young men's throats, then all of a sudden that proves everything that they've said. And it just gets perpetuated over and over and over again. But kudos to this brother who, in the face of this ignorance, decided, no, you can have your racist opinions. That's on you. But what you're not going to do is sit here and disrespect black women in front of me. Right. And then I saw some comments where people were saying, well, she's drunk or whatever. No, you know what? A drunk man speaks a sober man's mind. All that drink did, it didn't formulate these opinions. It didn't create these opinions. All that drink did was give her the courage to say it. That and the climate that's being created by the manosphere, that it's okay to disrespect Black women because Black men are doing it. Everybody's doing it. Let's all do it, right? But again, kudos to him for saying, no, you're not going to. Black women are strong. Black women are wonderful. And when you talk about Black women, you're talking about my mother, my sister, my girlfriend. He has a sense of community with Black women, not just the Black women that he knows, right? He understands that all Black women are under my protection. And again, this is not, and I can already hear when I use the word protection, I can hear the detractors saying, oh, you a simp, you caping for women, or, whatever. But here's the thing that blows my mind. I've been called a simp so many times because I have this mindset that we should celebrate, as Black men, we should celebrate Black women. That makes me a simp. Or this idea that I would stand up for a Black woman, even if I don't know her, that makes me a simp. But and I'm sorry, because it's so ridiculous. These are the same guys that if you say anything about some of the more prominent voices in the manosphere, the Kevin Samuels and all these guys, these guys will go hard in the paint. They will defend this brother to the death. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I don't have any ill will towards, Kevin or any of these guys, because I think on some level, I really do believe that they understand that this is all manipulation. It's like you can't get mad at the guy who, the Bernie Madoffs of the world. He's doing what he does. Who I get upset with is the disciples. Who I get upset with is the guys that should know better. The guys that don't have any empirical evidence that any of this is true, and the guys who audaciously say we are holding women accountable without seeing the irony in the fact that you're not applying any of that accountability to yourself. This idea that if a woman has children out of wedlock, that's on her, because ultimately, and this is an actual argument, ultimately women control whether or not a child comes into the world. So essentially what they're saying is we wouldn't have so many children born out of wedlock if women were more discerning about who they slept with and using protection, because ultimately, if a baby is conceived, she makes the decision whether or not that baby comes in the world. As if a woman could create a child of her own. And here's the part that I don't understand. As a man, right, who is going to be impacted, if I bring a child into this world out of wedlock, I'm going to be impacted by that child's presence. I'm going to be impacted socially. I'm going to be impacted financially. I'm going to be impacted in so many ways. And now I have to allow her to make the decision. Do you want to bring the child into the world? And we know how the court systems work. We know that it's unfair. So why would you subject yourself to something that you don't want to be a part of, especially if you know you're not going to have an advantage? You could secure your future and protect yourself all by using protection, insisting on using protection. But no, we don't want to preach that to men. Instead, we want to preach to women. You need to keep your legs closed. You need to, it's bananas. And then at the same time, these are the guys that say, I'm a leader. I don't think you understand the concept at all. I don't think you understand the concept of leadership if you're passing the buck and passing the onus. That's not how accountability works. I made this video because, one, I wanted to bring attention to the video that that Nicholas made, that he posted, because I just thought it was one of those amazing, proud moments in Black history. Finally, a Black man stands up and says, no, you're not talking to Black women like that. Not in front of me. That's what you're not going to do. But number two, again, I wanted to make sure that I brought attention to the fact that this is beyond just me being a hater. This is beyond me just being a simp or whatever the case may be. I'm worried about the young men. That's who I really am concerned about, because again, they're listening to this rhetoric and they're going into the dating phase. And again, these are guys who are not, they don't have years of dating or a marriage or something like that to influence them. This is just them watching this sideshow and being influenced by something that isn't real. And then having that mindset when they go out into the dating world. And so we just get further and further and further apart because we're allowing divisive, manipulative people who have an agenda, a financial gain. They have vested interest in this divisiveness. They are not bringing people together. That's not how you bring people together. It's not. You're not holding anyone accountable. What they're doing is they're weaponizing people's past. That's what they're doing. They're weaponizing people's past. They're weaponizing ignorance. They're weaponizing, this idea that if you change as women, then that's going to fix our problems in our communities. But yet we're leading our communities. Yeah, I know. It's so tell me what you think about the video. Make sure you're following Tony Massey Cooks on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok. And join me every Monday night for Real Shop Talk. You can find all of the links to Real Shop Talk, realshoptalk.net. It's five brothers just talking shop, manhood, brotherhood, fatherhood, all and everything in between. Also coming very soon. I'm so excited about this. Starting August the 5th, I have a new concept, a new show coming called Chef in the Spotlight. I absolutely love food. I love cooking. I love, most of the people I follow on social media are either chefs or foodies or something like that. I love it. And so I know for me, sometimes I, have a hard time coming up with recipes and things like that. So I want to talk to some of these talented chefs that I follow and just ask questions about, hey, how do you come up with your recipes, your mixing flavors together, all kind of questions. It's going to be exciting. So August the 5th, that's going to start. Again, follow me on social media. You get all of the information from there. Thank you so much for listening to me go rant about this. Make sure you go and check out Nicholas Wilkerson and, give him a sub. I mean, he deserves it, in my opinion. He did what so many won't. So I appreciate you listening, and make sure you tune in this Monday night, Real Shop Talk, and then August the 5th for the Chef in the Spotlight. Chef in the Spotlight is going to be August 5th. All right. I'll see you next time.